Okay, this is The Wayfinders by Wade Davis, one of the best books I've ever written. I've ever read. He is looking at also primitive communities, native tribes throughout the world, okay? And he's looking at specifically the Amazon people. Okay? If you go to the Amazon, you'll have many different indigenous tribes. Okay? So let's look at the religion. And as you can understand, and one thing I will show you is that even though these people look simple, like, you know, they wear the same clothes and their life looks very simple, spiritually, they're very complex people, and they're very complex and sophisticated mythology, okay? So these are called people of the Anaconda, okay? In the beginning, before the creation of seasons, before the ancestral mother, Wemikuma, woman shaman, opened her womb, before her blood and breast milk gave rise to rivers and her ribs to the mountain ridges of the world, there was only chaos in the universe, okay? So there's this very complex mythology. I'm not gonna go through all of it, okay? But I will show you the picture of it. This is a universe that they've created from themselves. It is complete, it is unified, it's very complicated. And that's true for all mythologies. One thing that's really important for them is to maintain balance and harmony in the world, okay? So, like most primitive people, they believe there are different dimensions. And their role is to maintain harmony across these dimensions, because that was what guaranteed a happy and prosperous life, okay? So let's read this together. The people living today in the forests of the Parapanaya, which is the Amazon, the entire natural world is saturated with meaning and cosmological significance. Every rock and waterfall embodies a story. Plants and animals are but distinct physical manifestations of the same essential spiritual essence. Okay? So every plant, every rock has a life force. And they appreciate the diversity, the complexity, the sophistication of different life forces, okay? So even though they can express themselves, they don't have a written language, their minds are extremely vibrant and dynamic and energetic. At the same time, everything is more than it appears, for the visible world is only one level of perception. Behind every tangible form, every plant and animal is a shadow dimension, a place invisible to ordinary people, but visible to the shaman. This is the realm of the He spirits, a world of deified ancestors where rocks and rivers are alive, plants and animals are human beings, sap and blood, the bodily fluids of the primary river of the Anaconda. Hidden in cataracts, behind the physical veil of waterfalls, in the very center of stones, are the great mulakas of the He spirit, where everything is beautiful, the shining feathers, the coca, the calabash of tobacco, powdered, which is itself the skull and brain of the sun, okay? You can see how the mythology is very complex and how they embedded into their everyday life. Every day when they wake up and they see the world, they see a world of color, of energy, of change. Okay? All right. He continues, among the Bharasana, such renewal is a fundamental obligation of the living. In practice, this implies the Bharasana see the earth as potent, the forest as being alive with spiritual beings and ancestral powers. To live off the land is to embrace both its creative and destructive potential. Human beings, plants, and animals share the same cosmic origins and in a profound sense are seen as essentially identical, responsive to the same principles, obligated by the same duties, responsible for the collective well-being of creation. There's no separation between nature and culture. Without the forests and rivers, humans would perish. But without people, the natural world would have no order or meaning. All would be chaos. Thus, the norms that drive social behavior also define the manner in which human beings interact with the wild, the plants and animals, the multiple phenomenon of the natural world, lightning and thunder, the sun and the moon, the scent of a blossom, the sour order of death. Everything is related, everything connected, a single integrated whole. Mythology infuses land and life with meaning, encoding expectations and behaviors essential to survival in the forest, anchoring each community, each Malacca, to a profound spirit of place. Okay? So you can see how sophisticated their imagination is. Okay, so one thing that I discuss continuously, because it's a very important concept, is how everything is a harmonious whole. And so when you kill something, you first need permission. You need to have a contract, okay? This is true through most of human history. So these people are no different. When men go to the forest to hunt or fish, it is never a trivial passage. First, a shaman must travel in trance to negotiate with the masters of the animals, forging a mystical contract with the spirit guardians, an exchange based always on reciprocity. Okay? The idea of reciprocity. If you kill an animal, you need permission. Now, if you kill the animal, you must thank the animal through ritual sacrifice. Okay? The Brahmana compared to marriage for hunting to as a form of courtship in which one seeks the blessings of a greater authority for the honor of taking into one's family a precious being. Meat is not the right of a hunter, but a gift from the spirit world. To kill without permission is to risk death by a spirit guardian, by it in the form of a jaguar, anaconda, tapir, or harpy eagle. Okay? So the concept here is karma, right? If you do evil, evil will come to you. Okay, so it's important to maintain harmony. All right, and this is no different from the cave paintings. Okay, so you go way back to the dawn of humanity, we believe the same thing. Okay, we believe that these animals came from the spirit world. And that's why you paint it. That's why you express art, to thank the animals for coming from the spirit world to feed and nourish us. And after we kill them, then we pray that they return to us. Okay? And this goes back, tens of thousands of years. All right, let's go to Africa. So we were in the Amazon. Now let's go to Africa. And in Africa, there's some people called the forest people. Okay? There's a book by Colin Turnbull who spent a few years with them. And these are the pygmies. They live in the forest. And guess what? Even though the mythology is a bit different, they have different names, they have different structures, it's still the same essence. Okay, so let's go over. This is called a molemo, which is a musical instrument that they use to communicate with the spirits of the forest. Okay. All right. So one thing that's really important for these peoples is the idea of ritual. You are a member of the community if you participate in all their rituals, if you believe in the mythologies, if you honor their ancestors and their traditions, okay? If you refuse to honor their traditions, then they will ostracize you, or they may even kill you, okay? So, the pygmies are having a religious festival, and Colin Turnbull says this: I was told, however, that everyone had to eat just as no adult male was allowed to sleep, but had to sing while Maloma singing was in progress. Apparently, one of the greatest crimes that a pygmy can commit, if not the greatest, is to be found asleep when the Maloma is singing. Okay? If you refuse to participate in the ritual, or if you break the seriousness of the ritual, then you are a threat to community, and they will kill you. And they will forget about you, okay? So once they kill you, the woman would be told that the Maloma itself, the great animal of the forest, had carried off one of their number, but like the man, they would ask no questions and would never again mention the missing man. So if you disrespect them, they would not only kill you, but they would forget about you forever. So this is how they explain why they do what they do. Why do they practice these rituals? Why are these rituals such an important part of their lives? Normally everything goes well in our world, but at night when we are sleeping, sometimes things go wrong because we are not awake to stop them from going wrong. Army ants invade the camp. Leopards may come in and steal a hunting dog or even a child. If we were awake, these things would not happen. So when something big goes wrong, like illness or bad hunting or death, it must be because the forest is sleeping and not looking after its children. So what do? We wake it up. We wake it up by singing to it, and we do this because we want it to awaken happy. And everything will be well and good again. So when our world is going well, then also we sing to the forest because we want it to share our happiness, okay? So their idea of God is heaven on earth, where you're connected to the environment around you. Everything that you do impacts the environment. The environment also impacts you as well. So you practice these rituals in order to maintain balance and harmony in the world. Okay? The world is a script. In living, you must follow certain practices in order to respect the traditions of the world. And that's what brings harmony and heaven to the world. And this is something that for most of our history, something that we've understood and we've appreciated. Then the question then is, what do we change? Okay, and we'll be discussing this as the semester progresses. Okay, so that's it. Are there